All right, what's up guys? So this is the email copywriting system to write highly converting emails at scale. We're gonna go through the entire step-by-step guide. After 2 years of trial and error, this is what we found best, works with our copywriters and our designers and our account managers and Klaviyo techs. So you gotta remember, as a copywriter, you're not just writing words on the screen, you're literally forming the entire strategy of the email. So you really need to go above and beyond thinking you're just writing out Google Docs. It's a lot more than that. So using this template, here's what we typically like to use. So it's gonna have the client name at the top there. It's gonna have the email name. So you wanna keep this very short and sweet. Goal of the email, so driving sales or bringing brand awareness or whatever it is. And then subject line, preview text. And then what we actually like to do is include a section for design inspiration. So this is an email from like this brand right here. Is you can actually tell the designer, here's what I want you to model it after. And then we want to really highlight what's going to be in the first fold of the email. It's the most important part by far. So example, it's going to be headline, subheader, image, CTA, something similar to this, but this is just kind of a skeleton. And then email body is probably going to be something simple. So body, CTA, you can pretty much just stick with that a lot of times. Or if you wanted to add in something else, body, image, CTA again, whatever it is, collection, highlight, it doesn't matter, but this is just a skeleton here. And then if you actually notice off to the right here, we have links. So these are gonna correlate to each of the sections in your Klaviyo email. And so we actually wanna put in the link on the client's website to where this image should link to. So not all of them are gonna have, like if it's a HTML text section, it's not gonna have a link, but images are gonna always have links. That's how we like to do it. So that's the template right there. And then you want to save the document to the client's appropriate folder. This is our internal Google Drive. So you want to make sure it's in the correct one, whether it's in the campaigns subfolder or flows subfolder or whatever it is. And then this is just the naming convention for the document. And then as I said in the header, you're going to have the client name, email name. It's going to be short. You want to include the offer or the discount. And then goal of the email might be, something like this. Subject line, preview text, want to keep those short and concise. And then inspiration, if you want to have a link to similar emails that you want to take inspiration from, definitely go ahead and do that. All right, subject line and preview text. We have a whole document going through all the guidelines, but in summary, max 60 to 90 characters for each. Don't use spammy words, and always set, at least at the start, test out your subject line using a tool like one of these. And then simplicity. You want to start with something like this structure. So it's going to be in the first fold, logo, header text, subheader, image, CTA, all within that first fold of the email. You don't want to make super long emails. Body, keep it simple, body text, button, and then footer, very simple. We don't like to use social media icons or anything like that typically. But yeah, kind of diving into this, most important section is the first fold of the email. It's going to be this top section right up here, but this is a perfect example of exactly what we're talking about. And then actually suggest specific images to use. You don't have to completely just design the email yourself, but you want to make suggestions and make sure the designer understands exactly what this email should look like. You really want to take as much of the legwork, put that onto yourself as much as possible so that the designer doesn't have to just search for, half an hour to an hour just for the images. So you really want to help the designer out. And you can make suggestions on what images to use, and just don't suggest images that don't exist. This has kind of been an issue in the past, but actually understand what's in the client's assets, what you can get off their website, things like that, and then provide actual links. Don't just say, I wish we could have this image or that image. Waste a lot of time, so don't do that. And then, as I said, we actually want to put the links that, like this is an image slice right here. So we want to add where this image slice is going to go. So what the Klaviyo link is. So typically it's going to be to the client's bestseller or collection or specific product that we're highlighting in that section. And then make sure to add notes and context to the designer. Again, you really want to have great communication. So this is a perfect example of adding context with a comment inside your Google Doc. And see, they're actually adding in images. This is taken from the client's website. So a really, really good example. And then don't say insert discount discount code here, like actually come up with the discount code. So we're typically the ones that's going to be creating the discount code in Shopify or WooCommerce. So just make it something relevant. Don't need to overthink it, but in general, for campaigns, we're going to use static codes. So Christmas 20, something like that. For flows, we're going to use dynamic codes. So it's going to be something like welcome 20, and then you can put in the XXXX because that's going to differ based on who the customer is. So each customer is going to get a unique code. That's dynamic codes right there. You can learn more here. And then actually use Klaviyo merge tags. So you need to learn how to use these. It's going to be something like this. So we want to use first name and then capitalize their name. So if they don't capitalize their name, you can actually put it into title case and then put in the default of whatever it's going to be. So just make sure, do it in that structure right there, and you can learn more here. And then just a couple other copywriting tips. In general, you really need to understand the strategy and the thought behind the copy. So you need to communicate well with the designer so that they can work on the design and make sure your vision is a reality. So make sure things like what text needs to be more prominent, where to put the CTA buttons, etc., is very, very clear within your copy. And if there's anything else you want to add, like in the footer, or if there's value propositions or icons or things like that, make sure you're fully understanding, that your designer has a full understanding. And then just make sure to reach out to that person in Slack, whether it's a designer, whether it's myself or someone else, if you have questions. And then overall, we want to have one main goal or CTA per email. So we don't want an email that links out to Instagram, then tells them to go use this discount code, and then tells them to check out this other collection. We want one main idea, and we want to have shorter emails rather than longer ones, because people are just going to skim and they just want to see one main CTA, and we don't want to overwhelm our customers. And really, if there's some sort of offer, show it early. Don't hide it at the bottom. Put 20% off XYZ at the very top. Don't want to have to make them scroll down. We want shorter emails, as I said. Urgency, social proof, these are huge, whether it's limited time offers or discounts. And always putting in things like testimonials are great, and making sure those testimonials are specific to the product that you're trying to sell or collection that you're trying to sell. Don't just put in random testimonials or social proof. And then when we are actually working on the strategy, switch up the offers. Don't just do the boring, old 20% off or 10% off all the time. Every brand is going to do this. So things like buy one, get one offers, dollar amount offers, etc., are going to work really, really well, especially with everybody else doing the same types of things here. So awesome. Thank you for listening.